We're going to take a look at the new features for this update. The one thing I want to cover first is the ability to make all sprite animations seamless. So if you are paying attention to this animation on screen, you can see it's not looping perfectly, you know. There is a seam at the end, like it's snappy. So once we run it through the Flipbook packer, it's going to end up something like this, where it loops seamlessly. So that's the first thing we're going to take a look at. The other thing, we no longer need to go to the output module and basically try to resize it. We don't need to resize anymore. It will auto resize itself. So we're going to take a look at that and how to run it. So let's jump into the Flipbook packer. Alright, so here we are in the Flipbook packer. The first thing I want to talk about is the auto resizer. So once you import your texture sequences, so you can already see that I imported all of the texture sequences of that After Effects animation. Once you get that in here, you want to go to the auto resizer and hit the auto resize. So once you hit the auto resize, it's gonna go ahead and also set the rows and columns for that sprite animation. So an important thing to keep in mind for the auto resize, it will not upscale for you automatically. So this is what's happening. This is the export render. It resized it for us. So if I want this sprite to be upscaled, I'm gonna have to do it manually. So I'm gonna go ahead and time it by 4 and time it by 4 for the Y. And this will remain the same exact ratio. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. After you auto resize it, you can go in it and upscale it manually. So the next thing I want to talk about is the loop method. We have the none, the loopback, and the blend forward. None is not going to do any blending. Loopback, it's going to basically ping pong. And the blend forward, it's going to keep going forward, but it will sacrifice texture sequences to try and blend in. So let's go ahead and go through them one by one. So here is just the normal one. And you can see it's snappy, it's not right. And we can go to the loopback. So once we have the loopback selected, you can actually select the percentage of when it should start looping back. So if I put it to something like 0.8 or 0.9, it's gonna ping pong when it reaches 90% of the animation. So it's still seamless. It's a bit better. If I put it back to 0.6, it's gonna blend a little bit better. Yeah, so this is seamless now. And you can see it's trying to blend. And the next thing is the blend forward. The blend forward will sacrifice texture sequences to try and blend with another set of an animation. So here we have the loop forward amount. So this is going to sacrifice from the rows and the columns. Usually you just leave it at 1 and that's the best amount. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can see it updated to 169. So the higher the number, the shorter the animation will be. So you can see it's trying to loop, blend. And if I put it back to 1, it's gonna try to blend forward as fast as possible. So just 1 is good enough. It's gonna sacrifice 1 row and 1 column in order to blend forward. And the blend curve, this is for the loop forward only. It doesn't work for the... this blend curve works for the loop back only. It doesn't work for the blend forward. So this is what I wanted to go through, and I hope you can make use of this and make awesome UX.